Hey, what's going on, guys? Aalon Cruz here at Kaizen, Tampa. I am the head grappling coach here, and today we're gonna go over the triangle choke from closed guard, so let's get into it. What's going on, guys? So today I just want to really go over one of my favorite submissions from the full guard, and it's just a basic triangle choke setup. This is going to be an overhook variation versus you might see a lot of people pushing the wrist through, going from one submission like an omoplata into the triangle. Like I said, for me, this is my A1. If I get to full guard and I'm in a fight, I'm always going to throw up an armbar first. If that doesn't work, this is gonna be my next move, but it is my A1. So, I'm here with Manny. A lot of times, if it's jiu-jitsu, he's gonna have his hands on my hips. If it's MMA, he's probably just gonna be postured. Yeah, he's either gonna be here on the inside of my biceps, or he's gonna be postured up, trying to like control my wrist and punch me in the face, which this might make it a little easier for me to actually pull him down into me if he is punching. But let's just say it's pure jiu-jitsu. He's got his hands on my hips. So from here, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna feed my hands on the inside of Manny's wrist. And then I'm gonna pull him into me, like over my head, as I make a big circle with my hands. And notice this brings his overhook to me easily, okay? Again, I'm gonna go inside. I'm gonna put both my hands, the back of my hands on Manny's wrist. I'm gonna go ahead and flare his arms out, and I'm gonna go ahead and find my overhook, okay? Now, when I get this overhook, I wanna make sure I shoot this arm as deep and as high as I possibly can, okay? If I keep it low and shallow, Manny's gonna have an easy time pulling this arm out, okay? There's not enough pressure on it. So I go in here, I get this, and I can make a fist too. I make a nice tight fist. Now Manny tries to pull up, he can't get his arm out, okay? From here, if you notice a little bit when I started going, I kind of shifted my hips out just a little bit. I'm a little bit on my left hip right now, okay? I can do a couple things with this leg. I can either just kind of bite Manny's upper back, or I can start throwing this leg over the top. It's really up to you, it's preference. From here, I'm gonna start forcing Manny's bicep out. I'm making a seahorse grip or a goose grip, but notice I'm creating a hook at the end. I'm not gonna push Manny's bicep out, because if I start to push Manny's bicep out and then he pulls away, I have no control of his arm at all. He's just gonna pull his arm away, right? So when I go to force, I make this frame. I'm gonna bring my knee to my body, to my face, as I force his bicep out, and I have this cupped. Now when Manny tries to pull away, I have him stuck here, okay? From here, I'm gonna go ahead and take my shin. I'm really gonna drive my shin super hard into Manny's bicep while pulling his bicep into my knee. This should be pretty painful as I drive here. Okay, Manny, does that hurt? Yeah. Okay, that's good. So now I'm here. I really have to keep this pressure though, as I slide down all the way to the wrist. If at any point I have this grip, and I start going, and then I try to rush to the wrist, he's gone. I have to keep constant pressure the entire time. So again, so I'm here, I'm grinding all the way to the wrist. Boom, now I have it, keeping this overhook tight. From here, I have good dexterity, so I usually just push this wrist through. I can bring my leg through and jump it. If you don't have as much dexterity as I do, you can go ahead and get your hips out to the side a little more, and get on your side and get on your hip even more, and this makes it a little easier for me to bring this knee up. Bring this knee up and out. Boom. Now notice, I'll run over here real quick. Notice when I jumped this leg, I went super high, and I got the crook of my knee deep and tight into Manny's neck, okay? I don't wanna come here and just come shallow, and now when I'm doing the move, there's gonna be a lot of space here, and then I'm gonna have to make all these corrections later on. I wanna make sure that when I make this first bite and I come from here to here, it's already tight. I'm already blocking off one artery on this side. So now I have to start working on this side, right? So I'm also gonna go ahead, lock my legs up. We call this a diamond, okay? I'm here, I bite. Diamonds are forever. Then I go ahead and I'm gonna lift my hips up. Bring Manny's arm over to the other side, okay? This makes it super easy. It's gonna be hard for me to force Manny's arm over if I don't pick my hips up. He's gonna keep his arm on this side. I can't force Manny's arm over, even with my body and my arm. It's too strong here. So when I lift my hips up, it makes it easy for me to just bring it over, okay? I bring him back down. I control his posture by holding onto his head, okay? This whole move, when I'm doing this triangle, really leans on the fact that I keep Manny's posture controlled the entire time. And you saw when we were earlier when we started the move, right? I got my hips out, I have my knee on the back, his upper back, right? That was also posture control. Controlling the overhook, posture control. Now that I've gotten this arm across and I've got his head stuck, posture control, okay? Now, when I'm ready, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take my hand, I'm gonna go to the inside, grab my ankle. Don't go from the outside, inside. Grab my ankle. Now I can unlock this because even if Manny tries to posture up now, he can't. From here, I'm gonna go foot to the hip. Okay? From my diamond, grab my ankle, foot to the hip. I'm gonna pull my shin across the back of his neck and I'm gonna push off his hip to help me tighten this up. Now I've got a really great angle going. I can almost see down Manny's ear right now. So whereas before, I'm looking at Manny's, the middle of his hairline here. Then from here, I'm gonna go ahead and swivel. I've hit about a 45-degree angle change, holding his head the whole time. Now from here, I can go ahead and lock this up, okay? Now, notice there's still, I can finish this here. I can squeeze, pull the head down and finish, okay? But notice there's his shoulder still showing, okay? I learned this from Joey Best over at Eber City Jiu-Jitsu Club. So every time I do it, his shoulder's showing. I wanna take up the space. So what I'm gonna do is I'm still gonna hold his head. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my foot from the outside. I'm gonna lift my leg up and I'm gonna grind down the side of his ear. Now his shoulder is completely gone. It's probably the tightest triangle setup I can have right here. Now, what I'm gonna do with my feet, try not to do this. People tend to do the ballerina feet and they lock it up because it looks cool or maybe it feels natural to them or you're just being lazy. That's not how I'm gonna get the tightest choke out of this. When I go, I wanna flex both of my feet. So now my calves are engaged. I'm taking up as much space as possible. We're doing this. This is a lot of looseness going on in here, okay? So I'm nice and tight. Got this locked up. I'm activated with both of my feet. I'm deep in the crook of my knee. Try not to be here if you can avoid it. Get this deep in the crook of the knee. I'm gonna bite down into the outside. So down, out. Makes it super tight. If I need to, I pull down on the head and then we finish. So I'm gonna go through it one more time. Manny's hands are on my hips. I'm gonna go ahead, feet inside. Nice and wide, I bring his body into me. I'm gonna go ahead and get whatever overhook I like. I like this right overhook. This is where I like to go. I get it nice and deep. My hand is as high as I can get it. Like I'm pledge allegiance to the flag. Here, boom. Get my hips out to the side. Other leg is nice and high on Manny's back. Okay, from here I'm gonna go ahead, make my goose frame or my seahorse. I'm gonna frame his arm out, nice and tight next to my knee, keeping control of his tricep the entire time. I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna grind in his bicep while I'm pulling his arm into my knee, sliding down to the wrist. I have the wrist now. Push the wrist out, bring the leg through. Remember, I'm gonna bite into his neck. I bite, lock up my diamond. I can let go of his head, let go of his arm. I'm gonna hip up. his arm becomes available for me to move over to the other side. Lock his head down again, keeping the posture, right? We're always doing posture control. The knee in the back, the overhook, and now the head. I'm gonna go on the inside. Grab my foot, my ankle, from the inside, not the outside, the inside. Let go. Manny tries to posture up here. I still have his posture control. Foot to the hip. Turn my angle, right? So from the 0 degree, now I'm at a 45 degree. Lock up my legs. Manny's shoulder's still showing. We need to get rid of that. Don't need to, I prefer to. Grab my foot from the outside, holding Manny's head still. I'm just gonna kind of readjust and bite down the side of his ear. Now his shoulder's missing. Last thing to do, activate my feet, right? Activate my feet like I'm doing a leg curl, down and to the outside. Down and to the outside, pull on the head, and finish. And then for me, that's, like I said, that's probably one of my favorite tricks to do from the open, or the closed guard. It's just a basic arm bar, or arm triangle. It's just a basic triangle choke from the guard. We'll keep that in there too. I don't care. Go ahead and try it out. You know, leave me some comments in the comment section. Like, share to your friends. If you guys have any questions, just send them to us, and we'll try to, maybe we'll come back to a 2.0 video, or hit me up on Instagram at Aalon Cruz, and you know, I'll see what I can help you with.